Welcome to the Dysfunction Junkies podcast. We may not have seen it all, but we've seen enough. And now, here are your hosts, Chrissy and Kerry.
Hello, junkies. I'm Kerry.
And I'm Chrissy.
How are you doing today, Chrissy?
Oh, I'm trying to hang in there, I guess. I'm doing all right.
I know it. So your birthday's passed.
Thank God.
So both of our birthdays have passed. So now we can commiserate on our birthday woes and excitements and joys.
Yes, let's reflect.
Maybe we'll just call this our birthday hangover episode.
Sure. I would rather have the other kind of hangover than this one, but let's do it.
So obviously we had a whole episode basically about my dysfunction around my birthday. And I've got a lot of them. I recognize that. I know it completely, but I was quite irritated this year.
Uh-oh.
Well, first of all, there's that whole thing that my mom died. So, there's that.
It's a tough one.
It was tough. And then, and again, we use humor here to help get through things. So
absolutely.
No disrespect to my mom. Nothing against that. But
no.
It did pose a little bit of a downer. So this year, my birthday fell, on Mother's Day. So again, not only having to deal with my birthday around Mother's Day, but the first Mother's Day without my mom.
Right.
We talked about in our episode about how people tend to forget my birthday. I was extra offended this year.
Oh, no.
I know. It's horrible. I know. This is the one time where it's like about me, Chrissy. It's not about you. It's about me.
I love it.
So
I'm all for everybody making it about them. We'll all ignore each other because it's all about ourselves.
There you go. So what got me this year was I was not only offended that people forgot my birthday, but had they been active listeners of our podcast, they had all the ample warning to remember. We talked about it the Wednesday before. We had a Thankful Sunday episode on Mother's Day, which was my birthday, and yet these people, they all forgot. So I'm extra offended.
I don't know what to say to this.
I would think you should be saying, "I'm proud of you, Kerry."
I'm proud of you, Kerry.
Yeah, for being offended.
Oh, because you're offended. Well,
Yes.
Yeah, but no, you can't just be offended.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, I've been telling them all. I've been calling them all out.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
I was like, because when they would remember days later or a week later, I'd be like, yeah, well, clearly you don't listen to my podcast because, we talked about this. And then when I would tell them about, I have a history of people forgetting my birthday, then they would feel really bad. And I'm like, but had you listened to my podcast, you had warning. So now not only you forgot my birthday, but you're not supporting me.
Oh, you don't just sit in the corner and utter a cantation, some sort of spell or something evil that you just wait around for karma to hit these people who have totally just rubbed you the wrong way.
That's old me, not new me.
Oh, I'm still stuck in old me. Is that the old me?
The old me was that way where I didn't talk about things and I just kept it to myself because, that elephant in the room thing, you don't talk about things. But now the new me has a voice and I talk.
Well, I probably wouldn't get very far if I made a deal out of someone maybe not acknowledging my birthday because I've gone so far out of my way to explain that it's not that big a deal to me. So it would be a little hypocritical. So
did people remember you on your birthday?
The people who matter.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Remember, I don't travel in as many social circles as you do. See, so I'm even at a higher benefit, I'm in a better place than you already because there's not that many people I have to think about that would remember my birthday. When you have more friends and you get out there, you're in clubs or whatever the heck, you're more involved out there than I am. So I hide away, so I don't expect people to know that much.
And I will say, and I know this is a double standard, but there's certain people that I just know are, I'm just going to say the term flaky but it doesn't mean anything bad. It just means that they, this is not their mindset or whatever. My sister, I call her my sister-in-love, which is my husband's sister. So we use this term sister-in-love instead of sister-in-law because we just love each other so much. We joke around about things, like if we don't hear from each other, if one of us texts the other or calls the other and there's no response, we'll text. The next thing will be, why do you hate me? It's like, why are you not answering? Why do you hate me? So unfortunately, she was one of the people that didn't call or text on my birthday. But again, I know what her life is like. I know how things are. So yes, she gets a pass. But I did text her the next morning and said, "Why do you hate me?"
Did that jar her memory?
She called me and she's like, and she was trying to figure out why I texted her that.
Oh, no.
And I said, "You didn't call or text me on my birthday." And she felt so bad. She was like, "Oh no, I'm horrible. I'm horrible." And I'm like, "Yes, you are. You're horrible," but so we made joke about it and everything. But then there were other people that see that, again, this circles back to my whole dysfunctional brain about my birthday, that yes, I understand you might not see me on my birthday. So you're going to give me a gift ahead of time, or you're going to say happy birthday ahead of time when you actually see me. And even if it's just a day or two, but you still got to do something. You got to have a call or a text that day. Just no.
Well, that's good to know.
Yes. There's lots of rules.
Well, I get that rule because, as you know, I have the rule about you can't celebrate anything early.
Right.
It's either on the day or shortly thereafter.
Exactly.
So probably I would be better off somebody wishing me a happy birthday belated.
Yeah.
Because if somebody,
right.
I'd probably panic if somebody told me happy birthday prior to my birthday, because then I would have to lock myself up and be afraid that something horrible was about to happen to me because somebody acknowledged it before it happened.
But here's the funny. So on the other end of the scale, you have the people that forgot or didn't care, whatever. I'm not important to you. Fine, whatever. But then you had the people that did care. And that was so special. I have a particular friend who is, how would we reference this if it was the mob? They had to go away. Let's just say that they went they're away somewhere. Okay.
Okay.
They
went on a little awaycation.
Yeah, an awaycation for a very set amount of time. Before they can come back. This person found a way to get a birthday card in the mail to me, and by God, it actually came on my birthday.
That's amazing.
It's amazing. So I'm like, here you've got people that could easily call or text or go to the store and forgot. But then you had this person who had to jump through some hoops to make sure that happened. And that was really touching. Shout out to my friend who's away for even in difficult times. That just goes to show, that effort. And then you have my sweet husband who is very good about overcompensating because he's got to deal with this. He's at home dealing with
firsthand
this drama. It's got to be probably the most stressful day of the year for him because all day he's getting the count list of, well, this person hasn't texted, this person hasn't, this person did. So he did lovely overcompensating for the day.
Way to go, Jim.
Yeah, Jim. Good job, Jim. Go.
Jim.
So that was kind of my birthday hangover. So
well, I'm sorry. I don't know what else.
Oh, you don't have to apologize. You guys did good.
We did. We tried, we tried, but relying on people to do anything sometimes is not the greatest thing. But sometimes we get little surprises.
Yes.
I've had some weird things happen in the past.
Tell me.
Not weird things, but
things
that
DJ Nick just gave you.
Well, things that one weird thing before DJ Nick it wasn't weird, but it's just you don't even think that this stuff exists. But when I turned 16, my sister and brother-in-law surprised me with a singing telegram.
Oh my God.
And I had a fairly respectable birthday party for when I turned 16. My parents actually did have some food brought in, and we had a picnic, and we invited more than the usual amount of people. It was probably one of those birthdays, maybe the only birthday where it wasn't just me and my friends, family and friends were involved to some extent. For some reason, I feel like you probably were.
Well, I'm wondering if I wasn't, because I would have been at band camp.
Well, the other one was there though.
Oh, well then I had to
But maybe he wasn't doing the band. Oh, you know what?
He wasn't. He started a year later.
No, he didn't. He didn't go that summer because there was reason to stay.
Oh.
Oh no, you're making me remember things I shouldn't remember. Yes, you probably were gone.
I was probably, because I don't remember this. But I don't remember as many things as you do. So that doesn't mean.
When jarred the correct way, I do. So anyhow, this gentleman showed up in a white tuxedo type thing with
my
balloons.
gosh.
And my husband laughs because we have a picture of me with this
With
gentleman.
a singing telegram.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean, we can post it. It's pretty funny. Mr. Mullet, my husband calls him. But
Oh my
please
God.
remember,
Yeah,
this is
was
1988.
Right.
So, of course, he had a mullet.
Of
I would have been
course.
offended if he didn't have a mullet.
He had a receding hairline and a mullet. That was
But what if this guy listens somehow?
look, if I had a mullet now, I would kind of look like that guy. That guy had to be in his 30s. I mean, and you're 16.
You say that like it's so old. He had to be in his 30s.
Well,
I guess we're doing a singing telegram, right?
To a 16-year-old girl.
I was touched by the gesture.
What-
But when you're 16, you're fairly embarrassed, especially when there's some man who's actually down on their knee singing to you. Hey, that guy got down on his knee, Nick.
But he could have went to jail, too. Until something really bad. My man was old for you at that time.
Well, at least I can say somebody got down on their knee for me.
Oh,
Bum, 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 bum.
yeah. Okay, moving on. So singing. Oh my God, I thought that only happened in the movies and stuff. I didn't realize it was a real thing.
Yeah, no, it was.
And in Youngstown, like I'm even more impressed. That
It
we had it in
was, and I got the full Youngstown version of. Another thing that was funny that shows you, but I can admit when I'm wrong sometimes, as long as it's not too painful. My husband, on my birthday, somehow was working somewhere where this like radio station came in, and they had like trivia.
Yeah.
And of course, my husband was going to get it because music trivia, forget it. There's nobody else who can beat him generally.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's the actual musician themselves.
Until about the mid-90s, then I'm kind of...
Yeah.
He gets shaky, but I think you're selling yourself short. You know more than even after that. But so he won tickets to see Simon and Garfunkel in Pittsburgh.
Wow. And the real one's not a like
No, these were the
the real deal.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
And it was they had reunited. The Everly Brothers were opening up for them.
Wow.
And it was a really small venue. Like it wasn't like a huge group. Like I mean,
It was a smaller venue.
It was fairly intimate for a concert.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the more intimate types of shows I've ever been to. And he got really great seats. I mean, we were on the floor.
Wow.
And so when he called and told me this, he was so excited. And of course, I was about to destroy any excitement he would have. Because it was my birthday. It's my birthday, Nick. And you want me to go see Simon. I didn't even know they were still alive.
I was going to say,
and then
there's probably listeners that are like Googling who's Simon and Garfunkel.
Well, they're fantastic and they're very important in the music history. But yeah, I got very hostile. I didn't want to go. I said, this is my birthday and you're telling me I have to do this. But we did. I mean, we had 4 tickets. So we did ask my sister and her husband to come with us. And my sister, I'm sure, was ecstatic because she's older than me and even had a better appreciation for this. And she was pretty involved she liked music and kind of, her and Nick would talk a lot about music. But so we went and it was like one of the best concerts I've ever been to. So I had to admit, I was a real biatch about it. Because I was insulted that you made this decision for me and I had no choice in it and I felt it was ridiculous. But it was really, I mean, I'm really glad that we got to go. So that he received those tickets, that he was able to win them. Yeah. And then take me. And then I got to go with my sister and brother-in-law. That was actually a pretty nice birthday, actually. So.
Good. Now I have to ask, was this like a major radio station in the Youngstown area? Do you remember what station? You could probably say it. I don't see why not.
Well, they've changed so many times since then. This would have been probably in the mid 2000s. And I don't know if it was probably like one of the stations.
Hot 101 or?
No, I think it was part of the, I think it was 93.3.
Oh, okay.
But at that time, they were oldies. I know they switched.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
They switched formats when they were part of that conglomerate.
Very cool.
Yeah. So it was either 93 or 106.
Okay.
Because they flip-flopped, in the 2000s.
Formats.
They flipped formats. They traded formats because they were part of the same company. But yeah, so the one DJ came and did some, had some prizes and trivia, and I got the trivia answer right.
How cool. So, see?
Yeah, no, so sometimes
I'm glad that you had an open mind about going because you could
I didn't.
Well, but
I went.
had to have had an open mind enough that you did end up enjoying it, because you could have really piss potted on that whole thing, and no matter how good it was, could have been like.
So the highlight of the night, and I think what really turned her is they did their song called "The Boxer." Well, there was a guy drunk or high or I don't know what, and he was just as much entertainment, I think, as the Simon and Garfunkel, because he was boxing. He was like boxing in the air while the song was playing, while they were doing the song. So I think that was that was a little
that broke the ice.
That actually was a little
comic
extra,
relief that helped.
Little entertainment, but yeah. So no, but
do you remember that, Chrissy?
Yeah, well, he thinks I was probably, because in general at concerts, and Simon and Garfunkel are a fantastic concert for me, because I generally want people to stay seated.
Oh yeah, this is true,
and
especially when you're on the floor.
Well, yeah, don't move.
Yeah.
Don't do anything that's going to generate heat or or obscure my view, which would force me then to have to get up, because I'm not getting up.
Yeah. I love my wife, but she's not fun to take to any concert.
No,
sure.
I'm pretty much not.
This was probably the perfect concert, sans the drunk guy airboxing, to the boxer.
So I was probably sitting there thinking, I think that somebody needs to get this gentleman to sit down, because he's generating heat. He's moving. He's on the move. Everybody, please. Where is security? So,
you guys crack me up.
Taking her to the symphony is fine. But...
I am the best. I am the best person to take to that. I am fine there. But I have to say, real quick, one concert we did go to that I don't remember ever sitting down for, and this will just tell you at what level this concert was. And Simon and Garfunkel, I would have to say these two concerts might be tied, but they're on two sides of one end of this type of music. We went to see Kiss.
Oh my God.
Back in 2000. And it was all 4 original members.
Wow.
And my husband finagled us to have pretty darn good seats to that too.
Wow.
And it was, there was just no way. And that was I wasn't standing up just because everybody else was.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally, their energy makes you stand up.
Oh, wow. That's great.
So shout out to Kiss.
There you go.
For getting this one off of her chair during a concert. That speaks volumes about you guys.
Yeah, I hear you. I've never been much of a concert goer personally. I mean, I went to like 4 Billy Joel concerts, and like where they were at a major thing. Now, when we lived in Las Vegas, we went to a lot of shows and a lot of things, but that was like every Friday night. You know what I mean? It wasn't like here where, I want to go see a concert, it's a different kind of atmosphere or type of going to a concert.
Right.
But yeah, we went to a couple Billy Joel concerts, and my last one was actually 2 years ago. We went and saw Billy Joel. Actually, I went with my friend because Jim's not much of a concert person either, and we went and saw him in Pittsburgh. So, and I'm glad we did, because he was coming. Too, didn't you? He was coming again, and then now he's not touring no more.
No,
I'm so sad.
I know.
But I'm so glad we went to that concert, because that was good.
Yeah. So that was one birthday thing, and I managed it better. And yes, I did admit that. So I guess you're saying somehow, even if it was unconsciously, I was open to the experience.
Yes.
Because I was able to finally admit that it was really good.
Yes. Excellent.
So there are chances that you can surprise me, or I can surprise myself with actually liking something.
But I have decided that next year I'm going to run away for my birthday. I couldn't this year because of the mom situation.
Right, I gotcha.
So my normal escape plan to avoid all this.
Oh my God, you guys, she's taking deep breaths.
Because the anxiety and the angst and everything that comes up because of my completely dysfunctional brain when it comes to my birthday, my escape plan works best. So yeah, I've already booked a trip to go out of the country on my birthday next year. So
are we allowed to disclose where, or it's not finalized yet?
When we go on our trip here next week, that we're going out of the country next week, I will finalize the details, and then I'll let you know. And that way, if you guys want to come, you're welcome to come.
Yeah.
My birthdays in the Caribbean are always fun.
I'm sure they are, and I wouldn't know what to do. I'd probably be holding on to a palm tree saying, I'm not leaving.
Trust me, we don't always want to come back either.
I'm sure. I've seen pictures. I don't know how I end up, but thank God I finally see you again, because I worry sometimes. I can get that. I get that.
So that's kind of my recap, and yeah, probably more than all of you wanted to hear about, but thank you for letting me have my safe space to talk about this.
Absolutely. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I was trying to really, because when we talked about doing this, and I was looking at what I could contribute with this, because again, my birthday means a little bit of a different thing to me than for you. And I was just like really digging for like, what are some birthday memories I have? And I mean, because I just don't really.
Because you're on the opposite coin for me.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm completely dysfunctional on birthdays, and you are very good and healthy around birthdays.
The one place where I am. That's probably one of the very few places I am.
Good job.
But then I started thinking about birthdays when I was little, and like I had said, most of the time it was just me and friends.
Right.
Generally not very supervised, but I do remember I had a birthday party, and I had to be not even 10 years old, and I had some friends from school over, and I was talking about this with my husband and my oldest daughter, and they just can't figure out why it seems like with me, if you were my friend during that time period, you generally had to accept the fact that you were going to get hurt. I mean, Natalie learned that the hard way. Fingers.
This is true. You were either something was broken, some fingernail was coming off, you were poisoned with mothballs, you were pushed on a bike, or
so.
What did you do now?
Well, somebody bought me back. I don't know if they still make these things that look like this. I just remember them from like the late 70s, early 80s. You get kids like golf club sets, but it was kids set. So it was like this ridiculous, clown-like club.
Okay,
like,
but wait, are you talking like an actual golf club, just small? Are you talking like
it was
the plastic, kind of Fisher Price kind of a...
Kind of that. Like it's plastic. It's for kids to play with. But it had like this enormous, whatever you call it, because I don't golf.
Is it...
Whatever the bottom of the...
No.
What's that called on the bottom of a golf? I don't know. It's a golf club.
The head.
The head of the golf club. Yes.
So it's like ridiculously large.
Right.
And it's pretty hard plastic, actually.
Oh, God,
I mean,
Chrissy.
so I didn't do it on purpose. But I remember we were playing around with this, and this poor kid that I went to grade school with was standing in the wrong place.
Oh, God, Chrissy.
I walloped him.
Did you castrate him?
No,
I
smacked him in the head.
The other head. Okay.
And he... and I knocked him out.
You knocked him out? Cold? Unconscious?
He came to. It's all right.
Oh, Chrissy. Oh, my God.
So sorry.
That is why people remember your birthday.
I bet you he still remembers that too.
Oh my God.
I think I did run into him a couple times probably in the last 20 years.
This isn't Mr. Youngstown that you...
No.
Okay,
no.
Okay.
He got the wrath of me at a Halloween party. We can talk about that another time. No, this was not him.
Carnage of Chrissy. All these kids that were hurt, maimed, injured.
if I will say the kid's first name, gentleman's name now, Matt, sorry again, but I think he does not forget that I did this to him, or because I think he brought it up to me again.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
jeez.
I love all those people who stuck around for the long term with me because it was bad. I need therapy to figure out why everybody was always getting hurt around me.
I think so. Next year, since I'm going to be out of the country on my birthday, that will therefore in turn mean I'm in the country for your birthday, because usually we go away either in May or June. So next year's birthday, we're going to have to plan something big.
How old am I going to be next year? I don't remember.
54.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So, that's fine.
Yeah.
I wonder what we could plan.
We'll plan something.
Okay.
All right. That's what we can have our listeners do. Start. What should we do for Chrissy's birthday next year? That will be our Facebook poll.
Oh, yes. I would love to know what people think we should do. Probably go somewhere where there's nothing sharp or heavy.
I was just going to say, and whatever gifts everyone gets her, please make sure that it can't somehow hurt you.
It would never hurt me. I'd make sure that it'll hurt somebody else.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we give you a gift, whatever gift we give you, we have to look at that and go, could this possibly come back to injure me or another guest at your party?
Right. Probably the best gift you could get me would be a bag of marshmallows. But I could probably figure out how to make that into some sort of a weapon.
You'll roast them and they'll be hot and on fire and they'll be tossing anyway.
Right, exactly.
Oh my. Well, this was good to kind of have this little therapy session so that I can move on in this next year with my birthday and everything.
Please do. We need to continue this open conversation of birthdays.
Yes, we do.
I didn't realize, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who have similar type issues.
Triggers. It's a trigger. Yeah. So, what can I say? But we want to hear your birthday issues or stories or what, if you have some memorable thing that happened on your birthday, please tell us. You can go to our Facebook page or you can check us out at dysfunctionjunkies.buzzsprout.com. So we'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.